Yo, what is up, doggies? It's your boy Beanie Kaloon. In today's video, I'm gonna be discussing a little bit of DMT. DMT is probably one of the most fascinating subjects that I often think about because, DMT, it's truly indescribable. It's something completely different from any experience you could ever relate to. Many have tried to explain what DMT is like, me included, but it's just not something we as humans will ever really be able to do. Explaining what DMT is like explaining what a new color is like. It just doesn't make sense. We can't comprehend it or put into words what it is. Countless people have attempted to explain what DMT trips are like, and you can get a pretty rough understanding of what it is by just looking around on the internet. But there's just no descriptions of DMT that will give you a true understanding of what it's like without actually smoking the substance. And many people get kind of lost in the DMT sauce trying to explain what DMT is like, what the messages are that they give you, what these entities are. Just so much random wild shit. Some people even believe DMT can grant you special powers, or every time you smoke it, it'll put you in a new parallel dimension. There's a lot of wild conspiracy theories revolving around DMT. And in this video, I'd like to take a look at and maybe poke fun at the crazy ideas that DMT has given people. So in this video, we're gonna do something new that you've probably never seen on any other YouTube channel, and that's looking through Reddit posts. Alright, so it's not the most original idea, but as far as I know, I am the first to go through r/DMT posts, and r/DMT, it's got some pretty wild and wacky posts, so let's just get into it, doggies. To start off this video, I'd like to take a look at this post that says, "Help, I smoked DMT and now my butthole is pulsating outwards. Is this normal trip behavior, or am I losing my butthole?" Now, from my little experience with DMT, I'd like to say this does not sound like normal trip behavior, but at the same time, there really is nothing normal about a DMT trip, so, I could almost relate. I remember in my DMT breakthrough, I definitely felt my whole body pulsating, but it felt like I was the entire universe. I didn't even know I had a butthole. Now, there's a couple Reddit comments that could explain why this user is experiencing this issue. One that I think could be accurate is that's the entities trying to get in. I don't know, my one experience meeting the entities who took the form of my brother and also me and God and everyone else on this world, you seem pretty unpredictable and shit, dog. I got no idea what they're up to in the 7th dimension. For all we know, they could have been trying to get to this guy's butthole. Now, I could see why some people might have some issues with this theory because many don't believe that the entities are actually a separate thing from ourselves, but it's actually our own consciousness just getting portrayed into these entities. So by that logic, the entities wouldn't really be trying to get into his butthole because, the entities are him. Now, another theory that I think could better explain this is this very deep comment saying you're tripping one way and your butthole is tripping the other way. So my theory is this guy, while he was becoming one with the universe, his butthole, it wouldn't submit to becoming one with the universe. This I'm sure is just going to cause a bunch of rifts in the trip because on DMT, you got to become one with the universe. You can't separate your mind from your butthole. And also, this post does have a happy ending. The OP would later come back and comment, "Thanks for all the love and support, guys. I'm back and my butthole is completely intact." So yeah, r/DMT users are pretty wacky and wild, but let's just keep taking a look at these posts. The next post I'd like to read says, "DMT makes me feel transsexual." Hello everyone. Just for a bit of background, I'm a straight male and haven't really questioned that since my teenage years, 5 years ago. I have a wonderful girlfriend of several years and we have a great relationship. I've done a dozen or so sub-breakthrough doses of DMT, but last time my experience was out of the ordinary. I usually just enjoy the patterns, geometric shapes, and vividness of the trip, and that's it. But this time it went in a different direction. It all started the same, but I quickly felt a presence with me. This presence was feminine, not overtly so, but it was like a calm, peaceful, feminine energy. At first I was simply an observer of this energy, but slowly and surely I came to the realization that the energy was not external. This was something akin to my soul. The energy was my mind, feelings, thoughts, and beliefs, and it was feminine. I now feel that my real self is someone else, something not real. My own self and presence I saw is totally different, and it feels as if I need to somehow move towards my true self. Has anyone else had experience of similar identity confusion? Anyone else feel like they see their own souls and come to newfound insights of who you truly are? He also later added, edit, "I don't actually consider myself transsexual, and I know it's just a drug. I do, however, think that, as many people said, it showed me my feminine side. I'd say it was a positive experience, but it needs integration." This, I'd say, is a great example of when you get a little bit too lost in the sauce of the DMT. DMT is just not really going to show you anything that's not already in your mind. And if this guy's not questioning his sexuality and has had a girlfriend for multiple years, I highly doubt that he's a transsexual. But the thing is, DMT, when you smoke it, it does feel like it's extremely important and that you should be taking a message away from this. And there's also the wacky and wild part of DMT where there's this separate entity talking to you that's also a part of you. And this dude was greeted with a female entity probably to show, his feminine side because, every man has a masculine and feminine side, but this doesn't make you transgender. The comment that I think really best explains what happened to this dude is this short comment that just says, "It's a drug and you got a thought on it. Don't make it a reality." The reason I feel most people get lost in the sauce on DMT is because people like to tend to think of it as more than just a drug. They think everything that they learn on it is like some greater, deeper truth. And while in some cases might be true, there might be some really interesting things we can take away from DMT, in a lot of cases you take away the wrong message because you just can't comprehend it. And a lot of the time I feel like people try to implement part of their DMT trip into normal society, which in some cases I can definitely see how it helps. But in other cases, like, the DMT verse is just a lot more wild and wacky than this reality that we're living in right now. So while you're up in the 7th dimension, you learn that we're all one and that we're just living in a simulation and all this other crazy stuff. None of that information really helps you or even really makes sense once you're back in this normal reality that we're all living in. So what I'm trying to say, doggies, is don't overthink it. If you become a female DMT entity, that doesn't make you transgender. This next post I'm going to be taking a look at is another great example of when you try to take the DMT verse into this reality and it just makes you look insane. This guy says, "I'm a writer / rapper. Thought you guys would like this one."
Yeah. Alright, look. I shed the skin of the dead weight within the mescaline type of headspace. The medicine's on regimen for like 10 days till I hear it's the end from the sensei. I been raised in 10 ways on N8, saw black and white bend.
And while the top comment really describes this video the best, he says, "This shit is an anti-drug ad." And yeah, this guy should probably lay off the DMT. Like, I swear this is what words sound like when you're in the DMT verse. I swear this video like straight up started giving me flashbacks of when the entities were talking to me. Now the only difference is when they were speaking this gibberish, it made complete sense to me, but like, I swear this is the DMT language right here.
Ascend way beyond a karmic pattern. I'm gone to the great beyond my target Saturn. I harvest matter as the darkness gathers. Wit so sharp I could split apart an atom. It's hard to fathom my bars reach stars on jars of kratom.
Like, I want to make fun of this guy for how absurd and just straight up bad this song sounds, but at the same time, he did somehow harness the language of DMT. Like, while this video is complete gibberish and makes no sense, something about it feels oddly familiar to my DMT trips.
After I translate your life through a damn handshake.
Now let's move on and take a look at some DMT replications that people have put onto r/DMT. A lot of people will post really beautiful art or just very trippy videos that, kind of actually very closely resemble what a DMT experience looks like. But instead of looking through these beautiful, somewhat accurate examples of DMT, I'd rather take a look at this dude who smoked the deems and got sent straight to Horrorland. This man posted replication of my experience, and this was the video he attached. Now, I'm of the belief that DMT creates completely unique effects that are catered to your own mind. So judging by this guy's trip application, I just guess that this dude's probably just a straight demon. And when you look through this guy's other posts on r/DMT, there's further evidence that would support this theory. Like, everything on this dude's Reddit profile is just looking heavy metal as fuck. So while this guy's DMT trip applications might look like just like actually going to hell, this dude probably actually just enjoys that shit. So I mean, to each his own. And while we're on the topic of, to each his own, this next post, just really portrays that. This dude says, DMT plus anal stimulation. He goes on to say, "So I know how crazy this sounds, but I'm a male who enjoys anal prostate play, and I also enjoy DMT. It always makes me feel a little horny afterwards for some reason, so I got to thinking. I have the fuck machine with a dildo attachment on it, and started wondering what it'd be like to get it set up and put into place and have it going on while I was blasting off. I know it's unlikely, but has anyone ever done this? Lamau. I don't know. It feels like a great idea or a terrible one, but all I could think was DMT equals feeling good, anal equals feeling good, so DMT plus anal equals profit? I may just be a horny idiot, but any insight would be gratefully appreciated," laughing out loud. Now right off the bat, this is just a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, nothing wrong with if you like stuff in your butt or not, but just for the simple fact that, DMT paralyzes you and you don't remember where you are or who you are, it could be a little bit dangerous to have something ramming something into your ass non-stop. And besides the fact that, this could be very physically dangerous, this combination also might not be quite as enjoyable as this guy might think. A good reply that I read to this post says, "Orgasms make me feel good, spending time with my family makes me feel good. Doesn't mean it would be a good idea to fuck them. Realistically, you're gonna forget what's going on, and I don't know if I'd want something in my ass while I'm incapacitated." So yeah, while he might enjoy stuff in his ass while he's not on DMT, if he did that on DMT, it might just feel like he's getting raped by like 1,000 entities. And well, luckily for this guy, he never actually went through with his plan, and we can see that because he ended up making a follow-up post that says, "Alright, so admittedly, I was pretty drunk when I made this post, and after waking up and absolutely losing it to some of these comments, I've decided against this horny monkey brain idea. A lot of people made good points and had good advice, and I'd rather not have to go to the hospital and try to explain what happened if something went wrong. but as many people mentioned, I may invest in a good prostate massager and just go that route. If I do, I'll make a separate post. Thanks for the laughs, everyone. And while looking into his account, sadly he has not made any more posts about this, and in fact, every single other post on his account is literally just a picture of his dick, so I think it's time we move on to the next post. And while staying on the topic of, DMT and sex, we got this post where this guy says, DMT and porn. Has anyone used porn as a setting for their trips? I found that a good high definition point of view video playing right in front of my face has made for some pretty unique trips. I typically won't have any idea the video is playing, although it does of course color the trip, and then as I begin to come down, the video will come into focus. I'll often take on a 3D sort of effect and feel very intimate, with point of view videos feeling like a miniature girl type creature in front of me. Now again, to each his own, but this post is just kinda sad, dog. Like, this man is really so far from having the presence of a girl with him that he has to go and create his own presence of a girl through the powers of DMT and porn. Like, they say abusing porn is damaging to your brain, so I'm sure abusing porn and DMT is just detrimental to your brain. And not to mention, I feel like this could also get you into some weird ass kinks. Like, I feel like this dude's probably out there jerking off to kaleidoscope porn right now. But yeah, enough about this weird dude who combines DMT and porn. Now I'd like to switch gears a little bit and look at this dude who got rejected by the DMT entities because they didn't like his music. This post reads, wouldn't let me enter the DMT realm with the song playing. I was bummed as fuck. He goes on to say, I had it playing thinking it enhanced the trip, but whatever entity told me to change this song and try again because they didn't like it. Has this happened with anyone else? Any songs that kept you from entering? And here's a little clip of the song that he attached. And well, very clearly, these entities are just sleeping on this jam because this song is absolutely bopping and I feel like it would go very hard in the DMT verse. But while I guess the DMT entities don't like this song, it is confirmed in the comment section that they do enjoy Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. No, but seriously, I just think the whole situation is just so absurd that this guy genuinely thinks that the DMT entities did not like the song that he played for them. I don't know, imagine going up into the DMT verse, putting on a song that you think will just match really well, and the entities are just like, what the fuck is this shit, dog? I wanted to hear some Zeppelin. I don't know, it's just kind of funny to imagine these 7th dimension, all-knowing beings just saying that your music is trash. But yeah, I guess DMT entities don't like Indian techno or whatever this is. Alright, let's just check one final post from r/DMT, and don't worry guys, I saved a pretty wild and wacky one for last. This post reads, how do you levitate? People of r/DMT. I have never tried DMT, but I've read up on it, and I have a lot of curiosity. However, I would like to ask a favor. Next time you're on a trip, ask how it's possible to levitate in our world. I am highly interested in what response will be gotten, as well as any visual seen. All info would be highly appreciated, and more information on being seen while on DMT, I am curious about as well. This post is just hilarious to me on many different levels. First off, why does this dude want to levitate so bad? And second, how does he think DMT entities are going to give us the ability to levitate? Thirdly, once again, I just find it so funny how bad this dude wants to levitate, just the way he words things. Dude really says he would like to ask a favor for us to please ask these DMT entities if they could tell us how to levitate. Then he goes on to say he'll be highly interested in any information he gets, and that any information will also be highly appreciated. And well, sadly, no one from the r/DMT community would end up going on a DMT trip and asking the entities how to levitate. Instead, everyone else kind of just mocked the idea for how stupid it was, and the OP only responded to one comment, and here's the exchange that they had. One user says, DMT does not give you magic powers. Just because you took a drug and now hallucinating doesn't mean you become an X-Man. And the OP responds back, I understand that, what's the harm in asking? And shit, OP kinda has me back on his side with this response. It would appear the dog kinda understands how absurd this question is and that he probably won't get one distinct answer that's gonna teach him how to levitate. But this doggie's just on a mission to levitate, and he's trying to figure out by any means possible, and the only place he hasn't looked is the DMT realm. Now, I doubt he really finds any answers on how to levitate in the DMT realm because, well, in my experience, the DMT realm is filled with a lot more questions than answers. And also because levitation isn't humanly possible, so it would be pretty hard to figure out how to levitate. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look into r/DMT. And I do want to say for this video, I obviously just picked the most crazy, most funny posts I could find. This is not what your average DMT user is like. But I just wanted to take a look at this wild and wacky side of the internet because, well, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I love wild and wacky. And I just want to say absolutely no hate towards any of the people that I talked about in this video. It's strictly love coming from me, doggies. Now, I might poke fun here and there, but I'm just trying to make y'all laugh. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I'm gonna be uploading bangers for the foreseen future, and I know sometimes I go a couple weeks without uploading. I don't really have a direction for this channel, but I do genuinely love making YouTube videos and seeing the response from people that watch it. So please subscribe, comment, and like, because like that literally makes me happy, and it's not that hard to do. Like, you just click a button, and I swear to God, you're gonna put a smile on my face. But regardless if you guys like and subscribe or not, I promise I'm always gonna be making bangers. So just stick around, doggies. New stuff coming whenever I decide to make it. But yeah, as always, peace out, doggies.